Are you okay?
What were you thinking? Were you trying to get us killed?
I'm sorry, I just haven't been sleeping well lately. I must be tired.
Look, I can drive. I just need directions. Besides, I got a great night's sleep last night. Jen gave me directions straight to heaven.
No, it's okay. We're almost there, I am. And I'm completely awake now.
Where are we going anyway?
You ever heard of Edward Watson?
That serial killer guy?
Yeah, so you know him. How much do you know about him?
That he was arrested for killing like 10 people or something. Didn't he eat his victims?
Yeah, he did. Actually, it was about 17 people.
How do you know about Ed Watson?
I've heard people talk about it.
What people?
People I heard.
All his victims were housewives that were home during the day. His MO was always the same.
What was that?
He'd sneak in, tie them up at gunpoint, and then choke them to death. And what did he do after that?
You rape them?
No. He chopped their body in half with a chainsaw.
Did the neighbors hear the saw?
That's the thing with living in the city. No one cares.
They probably yelled at him to keep the racket down.
Why did he do that?
I suppose he was obsessed with the lower half of a woman's body.
What guy isn't?
Shut up. Why do you say the lower half?
Because he would chop the lower half of the body into little pieces, bag them up, and take them home for dinner.
It's sick.
That is so wrong.
It's not just that. He had this idea that the last thing his victims saw before death would be imprinted as an image onto their eyes.
That's original.
So he stabbed them out before he was finished. When the family came home, all that they would find is a bloody torso without any eyes.
Okay, why are we talking about this? I hope it has nothing to do with where we're going.
You believe in ghosts?
What? Who owns this place? Chris? Chris, how did you find this place?
I found this place about a year ago. Dad was hiding it from us.
Dad was hiding it from... This is Dad's house?
Yeah, it's his house. I think he wanted to forget about his past after he met your mother. Because, this is where my mother was murdered by Edward Watson.
Oh my God, Chris, are you serious?
I don't remember this place much, but I used to live here. I found the address in an old newspaper clipping, and I checked with a real estate agent, and it turns out Dad still owns it.
Well, how long has he had it?
Since when we lived here. I don't think he was ever able to find a buyer.
Because they knew what happened?
No, they kept that quiet. And this place has been completely remodeled.
God, I'm so sorry, Chris. why they couldn't sell it. It's a quaint little house.
Well, it's just a rumor, but people said they'd seen a ghost.
Do you think that it's your...
No, I don't believe it. But what they described was the same way that my mother was killed.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that funny? The only thing I remember about my mother is the expression on her face when she was murdered. Well, that's why we're here.
What do you mean?
We're researching a process of scientifically stimulating the appearance of a spectral apparition.
A ghost?
Well, our hypothesis is that a ghost is merely a hallucination generated by the mind when properly stimulated by some undetermined means.
Well, what are these?
Could you come over here? And I'll explain everything. Take the camera, please. Take the camera. Could you start recording, please?
Yes.
Okay. These are to record our experiment. But I should begin by talking about a few years ago. There was an experiment by a group of undergrad physicists who were inducing upon a number of volunteers electromagnetic wave activity in order to incite hallucinatory visions and or create some sort of sensation of witnessing an apparition. And, Johnny built these devices based on the blueprints from that experiment.
What did they see?
Well, some of them saw their grandfather who had died years ago. Some saw a lost pet. Some even saw friends that hadn't died yet but did soon after.
Now, what we have here...
What was that?
What?
Is there someone else here?
No. Just us.
Can't you guys hear that?
I don't hear anything.
Are you all right? I think you're being a little oversensitive. Well, let's continue. You've heard of drug addicts seeing things like giant snakes or paranoid schizophrenics imagining that someone's trying to kill them, right? To a normal person, we call these paranoid delusions, but to the people that are actually experiencing them, these things are very real, even if these things don't actually exist in the real world. If a person's having a vision that was which they have no prior knowledge of, then their mind may not be able to recognize the object. So, what happens then? Well, a person might not be able to see an object even if it exists right in front of them. Are you listening?
I guess I don't know what you're saying.
Well, the point is, our sense of sight is undependable if the brain fails to recognize the information that it perceives.
You're such a psychologist.
Now, how does this all relate to ghosts? Well, if a person dies of some intense trauma, like my mother, there's an enormous amount of energy that is exuded during this process. And this energy is measurable. It's imprinted upon the environment.
To put it simply, when someone sees a ghost, he or she is sensing the energy of the dead person. The dead person is the station sending out the signal, and the living person is the receiver. And when the frequencies match up, you see a ghost.
So what you're saying is a ghost appears when someone senses the energy produced by a person as they've died?
Exactly. And a familial bond makes it all the more likely. Of course, I'm only interested in the scientific value of the results.
I built this device to detect the energy. I can adjust the frequency, fine-tune.
It'll be an impressive report between an engineering and psychology major. Does it make sense now?
Yeah, I guess so.
Good.
Okay, let's get started. You're right, there's a lot of activity. I'm gonna expand the signal. Ah, that's not good.
What happened?
I don't know. It's not supposed to cut out like that.
Should I keep recording?
No, wait a second. I'll get it going.
Hey, you guys have an extra battery? This one's dying.
Yeah, there's one in the bag.
I found a creepy doll back there.
Yeah, what kind of doll?
Asian, like one of those Japanese dolls I've seen on TV.
Where did you find it?
In the closet in the room down the hall.
Would you go get it? I'd like to see it.
Sure.
Are you alright? What happened? What is it? What happened? Talk to me, Jen.
Are you okay, Jen?
In the closet.
What?
What's in there?
There's nothing in there.
No, I saw something came crawling out of there.
Well, it's
all right.
gone now.
It's alright.
No! I saw it. It was a woman. She was cut in half and she had no eyes and she just came crawling after me and the doll was...
It's alright. You're okay. Just calm down now.
What'd you say?
The doll! Look at the doll!
What about the doll?
Look at the fucking doll! It was bleeding and it was cut in half just like the girl!
This doll?
Yes.
It's ugly, but it's not bloody.
No, I saw it. It was cut in half and it was bleeding and it was missing its eyes and then the woman came out of the closet at me and she was crawling towards me and she was looking like she was gonna come after me. And
Maybe we should give it up
I
for a
didn't
minute.
know what to do.
Yeah. We'll finish another time.
Should I pack up the equipment?
No, leave it here. We'll get it later. Jen, what did you see exactly?
I told you already. Something came out of the closet. It was real.
All right. It's over now.
It's the same frequency as that woman.
It was not a hallucination, Chris. I know what I saw. And I don't want you to go back there. Please. Promise me you're not going to go back there.
I'm sorry about what happened tonight, Jen. Are you okay?
Don't worry. I'll call you later.
All right. Get some rest, both of you.
To a normal person, these we call paranoid delusions, but to the person who's actually experiencing them, these things can be very, very real. Now, if a person's having a vision, that which they have no prior knowledge of, then their mind might not even be able to see an object, even if it exists. So, you know what happens then? Well, a person might not be able to see an object, even if it exists right before them. Are you listening?
That woman.
What?
I saw that woman again.
What are you talking about? Are you all right? What happened? What is it? What happened? Talk to me, Jen.
Are you okay, Jen?
In the car when Chris was driving away.
What?
We'll get it later.
That woman was clinging to Chris's back.
My God. That's impossible.